Lateral column lengthening osteotomy with the APTUS Calcaneus LCL plate. Christian Plaaß, Senior Physician Foot and Ankle, Hannover. Indication for the implant. We are performing a lateral lengthening osteotomy of the calcaneus. The indication for this procedure is the symptomatic flexible flat foot deformity. We demonstrate the fixation of the osteotomy with a plate. Anatomical landmarks and approach. First, the anatomical landmarks of the distal fibula are palpated. Followed the upper border of the calcaneus and the CC joint. Next, we identify the peroneus brevis and then peroneus longus tendons. Here is the talus. The incision is made at the upper border of the calcaneus at the sinus tarsi. This incision helps to minimize the risk of injury of the sural nerve. A 3 cm skin incision is done and the sinus tarsi and the lateral calcaneal wall dissected. It is important to protect the peroneal tendons, often they have to be released from their retinaculum fixation. Then open the tarsal sinus. The posterior facet of the subtalar joint and the interosseous ligament should be identified. 2 alternative osteotomies are mainly performed. The Hintermann type osteotomy, which is located between the posterior and medial facet, or the classical Evans osteotomy between the anterior and posterior facet. Placing the osteotomy too close to the posterior facet or a used bone grafted becomes prominent, talar impingement can result. The osteotomy can be placed in front of the ligamentum interosseus to reduce this risk. The osteotomy direction can be identified by putting a stump instrument in the sinus tarsi, which will guide you the direction of the osteotomy. The osteotomy is then performed using a saw. It is then finalized using a 3-chisel technique. The osteotomy has to be performed so that with the chisels it can be easily opened up. A laminar retractor or Hintermann retractor can be used to open the osteotomy. If a laminar retractor is used, it has to be placed against the stable osseous wall of the sinus tarsi. By opening up the spreader, the effect on the foot position can be analyzed. Plate placement. After evaluation the necessary amount of the correction wedge, a trial wedge can be used to identify the needed implant size. Sizes are available from 4 to 12 mm. The wedge can either be placed first inside the osteotomy or attached to the plate. For large feet, larger dimensions of the plate are also available. The plate should be placed just beneath the posterior facet of the calcaneus and on top of the peroneus tendon to avoid impingements. To allow bonying grow, the open, U-shaped surface of the wedge is placed in contact with the osteotomy surfaces. The laser-marked size of the wedge on the closed surface must still be visible after wedge placement. The next step is to position the plate using the plate holding and positioning instrument. Once the plate with the wedge fixed in place, the laminar spreader can be released and the plate can be fixed with locking screws. It is recommended to insert the proximal screw first. The corresponding drill is used. We then measure the length and place the first locking screw. Fill the remaining screw holes. Closure. Skin closure can be done due to the surgeon's preferences. Plate position is checked fluoroscopically. Postoperative protocol. Patients should remain partial weight bearing for a period of 6 weeks. Regular wound inspections are performed and an X-ray is performed at 6 weeks postoperative. X-rays should be recommended after 6 weeks and weight bearing can be initiated when X-rays show satisfactory bone healing. Patients are then seen 3 months postoperatively with a further X-ray performed.